Welcome back to Australia Mania. It's the only wrestling podcast called Australia Mania. I'm your host, Ricky Needs, as always, joined by Michael Thompson.
Hello.
David Young. Whip. How you going, boys?
Living life, man.
Yeah, can't complain.
Good week in wrestling.
We've got
Mates, so much to talk about this week. So, we have, it's all-in week for starters. Happy all-in week to everybody. Yay, it's all-in week.
what an event.
We got some more Super Showdown matches announced, which we'll get to at some point. We had Raw, we had SmackDown, we had NXT, PWI 500, top 10 got released. We can talk about that as well.
We can talk about the Aussie wrestlers that made the cuts.
Yeah.
Did Aussie wrestlers make the cut?
Yeah,
man.
Who's the highest rated Aussie wrestler?
I'll get back. Jay White, I think, is the highest rated Aussie wrestler.
He's in New Zealand.
Are we just going to claim him like that?
Zealand.
We'll take it.
Straight up
We'll take it.
Well, I was going to say, then Travis Banks should be up there as well. New Zealand, we'll take him.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy, Super Showdown.
Yeah, what a segue.
Mate, he's winning that title.
That's been booked from the very beginning.
Oh,
I reckon since Mania, straight up, it's just been like, all right, look, we know how this is going to work. Long-term book is here, straight up. Like, it has to be Buddy Murphy going over in Australia.
Yeah, 100%.
And the way they booked it, honestly, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm 100% keen to see him come out. The pop is going to be huge. Because, I don't know if...
Because he's going to be working mad heel, too.
Yeah. Because, I think, are the Iconics going to get a spot just because they're Australian?
Yeah.
On the card?
Yeah.
Tag team match?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Because, hold on, wait. Oh, no. Evolution's afterwards. I was thinking, look,
yeah.
I think the biggest talk that's going around right now is the fact that there's going to be an introduction of a women's tag belt.
Yeah, well...
Which would be a good moment. And look, there is honestly a lot of women's tags out there right now.
Is it going to be cross-brand?
It should be. It should be cross-brand.
Because really, right now, the two biggest contenders you have is Bayley and Sasha Banks, and then the Iconics.
Yeah.
That's there's...
Yeah. You got Riot Squad and you can reform Absolution.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of factions that happen right now, right? So
I'm so not sold on Riot Squad.
Oh, you're the only one.
Really?
I'm so hyped for it. Are you kidding me?
Look, I think
they're all so talented and they all fit their own.
They're talented. I will not argue on that. But the fact that they have the same fucking match every goddamn week,
no, I'll pay that.
Is so boring. And whenever they come on, I'm just like, oh, it's the same match. I'm just going to tune out.
Yeah,
there's
no real story that had been progressed between or character development between them. Right?
It's just look, we're alternative. The leader has tattoos and yay. That's about as much character as I can feel from those guys. There's nothing that excites me whenever they come out. I'm just like, yeah, it's them. Yeah, okay, moving on. That's usually when I'm live tweeting Raw, it's just like, I'm going to go have a smoke. And usually that
stiff, bro.
That cigarette lasts the length of that match, and then I'm back in.
Stiff to women's wrestling, bro.
But women's wrestling is exciting and it's fun, and I love when the Iconics come out because they're their gimmick is the promo on the way to the ring before a match, and I love them when they're talking.
But shoot though, their matches if you're talking about a match standpoint, different every time.
They're not great, but I still dig them as an.
Oh act. No, as an act, they're brilliant, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Whereas Riot Squad have that surface level of we're excited, we're alternative, and we're coming out to kick ass, and we're kind of like the women's version of what's a faction that would be the women's version of. I actually don't know. I can't think of anyone.
No, neither can I. That's just how unique they are, though.
I know, but
that's how unique they are.
It's so surface level because once you get past it, it's why are they going after Bayley and Sasha constantly?
Exactly.
Thank you for that input.
Thanks, Michael. Oh, are you in the studio today? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
So I was just searching up the Australian New Zealand wrestlers who made the top 500.
Because they've only released the top 10. Have they actually released the top 500?
I don't know how the fuck you know the other.
So I've got
490. But
yeah,
I've got the Australian New Zealand wrestlers in front of me.
Okay, good. Well, who we got?
Robbie Eagles is not in the top 500.
So I'm going to go from bottom to top here. So 437, Mark Davis. 400, Juicy Gino Gambino.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
390, Robbie Eagles.
Hey.
378, Adam Brooks. 351, Jonah Rock. 349, TK Cooper. 276, Shane Thorne. 271, Nick Miller. 250, Hanere. 234, Buddy Murphy. 67, Travis Banks. And 44, Jay White.
Yeah, look,
Travis Banks higher than Buddy Murphy.
Look, those last two are New Zealanders, but we'll take them. Go New Zealand.
Buddy Murphy. Falling out of the top 100.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, look.
Stiff the Murphs.
Remember.
Stiff the Murphs.
When we go and talk about the top 100, the top 10. Remember that PWI does that weird, it's a bit kayfabe, it's a bit shoot. It's such a weird criteria they use to choose the wrestlers in the positions that they are. So I can see Buddy Murphy being that low just because hasn't been on TV that much, hasn't really won that much. He's now in the title picture, but before that he was just sort of floundering in the weird mid-card purgatory that is 205 Live. So I can see why they would drop him down to that, because they do use kayfabe, and that was the big thing. I think it was like 3 years ago when Roman Reigns was number one. Everyone flipped their shit, but it's like, no, well, he won the title that year. He beat Triple H that year. He did all these things in kayfabe that would make him the best wrestler in the world, at least according to PWI's criteria. And then this year, you have the list as it is, but it is such, like the top 10 especially, is such a weird, eclectic mix that I'm like, what criteria are they actually using to choose this top 10 or this 500 list? Because like when you've got Braun Strowman right next to Brock Lesnar, and you're like the two vastly different years that those two wrestlers have had, how are they so close to each other in that top 10?
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you're talking about it from a kayfabe standpoint. Then, if a kayfabe standpoint, surely Brock's number one, or not number one. I'll give it fair play to Kenny Omega. Fair play to Kenny Omega.
Fucking right.
But he's number two. But he's number two.
Well, he's like
he only just lost his title, and you're comparing him to a WWE champion.
No, I know
that he's held it longer than for.
But like, I think they take there's the kayfabe aspect of like wins and losses, and like who those wins and losses are against as well. I think they take into consideration. But there is like you can't not be a writer for PWI.
They obviously don't take into account viewership, because Brock would be a number one.
But I think they do as well, because like you have all those indie wrestlers that you just like said, Michael, Australian guys who are so far down the list because they don't have the audience that WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor have. So they can't be at the top of that list.
Fun fact.
I still think Buddy Murphy, though, if he does win the Cruiserweight title, and depending on how long he has to run with it, potentially could be up a bit more in the PWI wrestlers top 500 next year.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
But it's just about that level of
Asuka
exposure.
was rated number one last year. My God, she going to fall out of that top 10.
Oh, the women's?
Yeah. They do a separate women's one.
Yeah, they do.
2017, number one was Asuka. Number two, Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
Dude,
Who's number one?
Asuka's going to fall.
This year,
They haven't released it yet.
No,
but
this
just
year's-
looking at that, and it's like, come on, man. Like, that's so unfair to Asuka.
So when did they release the women's version of the 500?
I think it's a little bit later on in the year, but shit, who would you have top?
This is such good. I don't understand why this is the first time we've mentioned this on the podcast.
I actually like
I
that.
love this stat list right here.
Yeah?
It's brilliant.
Have you never sussed it?
No, I've sussed it. I've sussed it many times, right?
Yeah.
But we've never brought it up.
No.
As like a point of discussion to
Oh,
be
no,
like
not really.
one better than the other kind of thing.
I actually
right?
like the idea, like, we should...
Or do you want to run down the top 10 right now, and we'll discuss each one?
2004, number one, Chris Benoit. I pay it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he won the title that year.
I pay it.
You did.
I pay it.
All right. Well,
I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing Chris
I was gonna-
Jericho,
I was gonna say-
but I am seeing The Miz appearing at number one in 2011. But I don't see Chris Jericho appearing number
Shut
one
up.
in any of these.
So
I don't know. Maybe if we use this as a metric, once again.
well.
I was going to say, can we actually... How about us three go around and we name our top 5 women wrestlers of 2018? Just off the top of our head.
Chris Jericho didn't even appear in the top 10 in 2016. What? Come on.
What about last year, 2017?
He didn't have that good of a 2016 because that's when he did the Festival of Friendship shit.
No,
with
it was
Kevin Owens.
2017.
No, it was 2016.
No, it was 2017. It was last year.
Kevin Owens.
It was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year because Goldberg had the title last year.
So it's 2016 to 2017.
Well, yeah, they do it like.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
It's like a financial.
They started their friendship in 2016.
Yeah, I know.
And then they broke up at the start
But
of 2017.
it's like a- it's
and
like
then culminated at Mania.
It's like a
Anyway,
It's like a weird financial year thing. They never actually say when they do it. Thing. Anyway, do you want to run down the top 10?
what, females?
No, the PWI.
Oh, so we'll do the top 10. We'll start at number 10.
Yeah.
And back to back,
Miz.
which bit stiff.
You reckon?
Bit stiff. Well, considering that
he
Naito's 9, he should be 9.
He did lose a fair.
He's had one of the best years and most
Once again,
encapsulating years.
Once again, you got to take kayfabe into account. He lost the title.
I will say this, though.
So
And he also won it for a near record-setting time.
2011 was his better year than 2018.
no, I reckon this year's
Okay,
better.
fair. No shit, because he appears at number 1 on the list. I'll give you that, because he won the WWE title.
And-
Yeah, okay.
And also-
from a kayfabe
No shit.
Yeah.
But okay, not even in kayfabe, he's still having the best years of his career right now.
Yeah, but you look at the guys above him, and they're probably having.
No, I'm not saying that's
Better
wrong. He's having a better year than Naito.
Oi.
He's having a
Oi.
better year than
not
Naito.
the only real thing.
Don't stiff
actually,
Naito. Don't.
Naito's-
He's having a better year than number
okay,
2.
okay, shut up. All right,
So are the fucking 50 other people.
fair.
on this
I will
list.
give you that. Naito lost his belt and lost it. At
All right,
Wrestle
fair
Kingdom.
play. Cody comes in because Naito at 9. Well, we'll just do this. Naito at 9. We got Cody at 8. I'll pay that. All In's a good moment. By the way, All In's. When are we dating this?
All ins this week.
All In's this weekend.
All In's this week.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend. 7. Good moment. Roman Reigns.
I'll pay that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not actually going to pay that because if you want to do it from a kayfabe standpoint, he's also had one of the bigger years.
Braun Strowman, number 6, I pay.
He's had a better year than Strowman.
Yep.
Seth Rollins, I'll pay it. If anything, honestly, should be a little bit higher.
I
Then
think-
you got Brocksky, which, if we're talking kayfabe, is really stiff. All right, at 4.
I disagree.
I think it's just. I think it's just lack of in-ring time.
Yeah.
But it's still not lack of appeal.
Yeah, I know, but like they got to take how many matches you've had into account. When
Yeah, all right.
He-
Okada at
he's
3,
there.
WWE champion at 2,
AJ Styles, baby.
and number 1, and good on him,
Kenny
Omega.
Kenny
Cleaner.
Omega, who I think is the most thoroughly deserving.
This is his
number 1.
This is his first ever number 1 on the PWI 500.
This is the.
He was what, number 2 last year?
He was number
Yeah.
2 last year. No, he wasn't. Number
No.
2 last year was the WWE champion, stiff.
Oh, so AJ's
Kenny
gone
Omega came in at 5 last year.
5.
Dude.
Suppose he didn't have a 7-star match last year, so he had that this year. That's fine.
Who
All
has
right.
the most number 1 appearances? Oh, God, there's WWE champion.
I would say like
2010.
probably either like
It's
Cena,
got to be Cena.
Cena or Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Yep.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold took it back-to-back in 89 and 99.
Whoa.
But
I mean
then
98,
that-
99.
98 and 99. That's what I said.
You said 89, 99.
Motherfucker, I said 98 and 99.
No, you said 89.
Don't come at me like that.
I'll listen to this
Don't come
podcast.
at me like that.
I'll listen to the podcast back to fucking edit it, mate. I'll take a little sound clip and I'll send it to you.
Shoot, I actually think it's Stone Cold with 2 entries. That's
Can you
about
put it
it.
up on the Facebook page, please?
That's it, actually.
Done.
No, John Cena has 2 entries. 2006, 2007. Granted, that's a good moment.
What about 2009?
2009 trips,
Oh, yeah, he
which
fucking won the
bit
title that
stiff.
year.
Randy Orton should be a bit higher.
I was going to say
He's 5
CM
on that
Punk.
list.
Well, where's CM Punk?
Punksky came in at 12. He held the belt for the entire year. Come on, like that's.
So
But
2012.
Bobby Roode came in at 2nd in 2012. What are we doing?
That was-
this list has lost all credit.
Was
Are you
that,
kidding
was that
me?
like the height of beer money?
Yeah, that was the beer money was fucking. No, this is when Bobby Roode was TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Shoot, that's a
2012.
joke. That's a joke.
He was the best heel.
Wonder
in the
where
company.
Bobby Roode is now. Because he's like,
He's not even in the 500.
no, yeah.
He's not even in the 500.
I ain't doing shit with him. Come on, man. Do something with him.
I've actually got him.
Um,
I think he's done, man. I think, look, when you're at that, I think Finn Balor's the only one where they've legitimately signed at a higher end age and said, we can build something from you. I think it's only Finn Balor. I think we're looking at someone like Shinsuke who's 37, and we're looking at him going, yeah, you signed here because you're at the later end of your career now.
Yeah.
You're looking at Bobby Roode who's 37, you signed here, it's like, yeah, you're at the later end of your career now.
Yeah.
Finn signed at 35, 36, and now they're looking
He's
at
35.
dude, he's 37 right now. Right? That's what I'm saying.
He's a gorgeous man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think Finn's the only
Oh.
one that they've ever looked at and gone, look, you're sitting at 37. Technically, by that point, you're either in your
He
prime.
looks 17.
Yeah, you're either in your prime
That's who Ricky thinks of every night before he goes to bed.
or
I do,
you're
I do.
the later stages of your career. Brock and Jeff Hardy are 41. Right? That's what I'm saying. And like,
Damn it.
Brock's the exception to be at 41 and being a world title contender. But you're looking at guys who are in
Bobby
their
Roode's
30,
41.
You're mid 41.
Yeah, Bobby Roode's 41
There
too.
you go. See, you're looking at a guy who signed like that. He was never going to be a world champion.
Yeah, but AJ
Like,
is the same fucking age
But
as...
AJ did
AJ is
so
41.
much better than. Oh shit! I just said his name. The WWE champion had like
Deal with
a legitimately great career, quote unquote.
Samoa Joe's
before
39,
WWE.
by the
He
way.
did.
Yeah, Joe's
39.
an interesting point as well. But that's solely for the fact that he's working against the WWE champion.
Yeah. I think he gets the belt at
Oh, he should get the belt. He should have won the belt at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Did you hear the
Alright.
booking was that they're actually going to give him the belt too? They changed it last minute, which annoys me.
Yeah, I know.
What possessed you to change that?
Well, you tipped him, didn't you?
Huh?
Oh, you had to tip
I
him.
don't know who I tipped.
No, you had to
like
tip
I
AJ.
said,
That's right.
in
That was
shoot,
fun. Yeah,
I would have
I-
100% have won the tipping.
He thinks that.
All right.
I've got.
Oh wait, hold on. Triple H has 2 entries in here as well. He has 2000 and he has
Oh, 2000 was height of shovel days.
Yeah, 2000
burying
and
everybody.
2009. That might be the longest distance between. Oh, see, this is what I love. I love metrics like this.
Yeah.
Because you can look at this and go, oh, hold on. We're looking at this and going, all right, his first entry at 2000, but then he comes in at 2009 again, and it's like, oh, that's a good moment.
I've also got probably...
Where does The Rock? Does The Rock come in at 2012, you reckon? No, 2013? Where he went on to face scenes?
I was going to say, I've actually got probably the biggest news. I've got a whole bunch of news.
No
as well.
Tanahashi. He ran New Japan and never appeared in the number one.
There's been so much news happening in the world of wrestling, and I've got so much to get through.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
Jobber.
God, I love that music. It's always good.
Loud.
Too loud for you?
Might just be my cans.
So, might as well start with the first one. Speculation on HBK, what his role is going to be at the Super Showdown in Melbourne. He's going to be the special guest referee, so he's going to be named the referee as early as Monday's edition of Raw between Triple H and Undertaker. I think we already knew that already, that HBK was going to have some role because he was...
Really? They're running that back?
Because he was pitched. He was
Do
actually...
you reckon they
going to
booked
do-
the exact same match, but this time when Shawn Michaels hits the sweet chin and Triple H hits the fucking pedigree, it actually is the 3 count? I would still pay it. I would still pop. Even if they ran that exact spot and he still kicks out, you can't tell me you ain't getting work.
I'll flip the fuck out. I'll pop.
All right? I want them to run that exact spot. I don't care if it's a hack.
All right, keep going with the news.
So speaking of Bobby Roode, he did say, and he's 41, he said he was reaching 40 years old. The reason why he left TNA is because he said he can't do this. He can't, sit at home for 6 to 8 weeks and then come to work for 8 straight days. That's why he said he loved it for the last 17 years, but he said he didn't really want to do that. But he said that he had a great meeting with Triple H, and that's the reason why he decided to. Thanks, Yang. Yeah, he said he merely felt at home when he was at NXT, which is why he came to WWE in the first place, because he felt like he was more home in NXT than he was his last couple of years in TNA. Now, speaking of All In, which is this weekend as well, Forbes. Now, Forbes have actually been getting their piece of the pie, the wrestling pie, the last couple of months or so with their articles, and they've actually put out a top 5 list. I think 2 of them are probably highly unlikely, but they've said that the following people potentially might appear at All In, and one of them is Neville.
Yeah, I reckon.
Chris Jericho.
On tour.
Remember when you said that Neville wasn't actually released by WWE, but you're actually an idiot and you didn't check? Dickhead.
Shut up, Yang.
Well, it depends when he said it, because there was that much speculation about when he was actually technically released. It's only been the last week where we've had proper confirmation.
That's what I said.
That he's no longer with the company.
So like 4 days ago, Michael came at me. Did you not read that? Came at me. He's just like, Neville's not released. ... And then
Kevin Owens.
Googled it.
Kevin Owens is apparently on the list as well, and all that. That would be
shows up.
interesting. That
Shoot,
would be
honestly,
so
we'll
interesting.
touch on that a little bit later, but this is the greatest gimmick to happen in wrestling.
CM Skunk.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen.
No.
And then one that might most likely will probably happen, and I wouldn't be surprised. The father of hardcore, Tommy Dreamer.
Oh yeah.
He's doing shit in Melbourne, isn't he?
They're in Australia this week.
Yeah.
All the old ECW guys are doing stuff with
Yeah, BCW,
Battle Championship Wrestling.
which is
something
good.
So they ain't going to be at All In.
And also the roster for 2K19 has been revealed. 2K19 comes out on my birthday this year, which is fantastic.
75 confirmed. So
Yeah.
far.
I saw the entrance for Undisputed Era. They don't have O'Reilly doing the guitar belt. Not buying the game.
Fair enough.
Not buying the game.
How good does Pete Dunne look, though?
So some of the names, they've already been confirmed already. I'm not going to go through them all. Black, Cole, Bliss.
Stop
Apollo
right
Crews,
there. Look, don't go through all of them, man.
Rude, Strowman, Lesnar, just to name a few. Ambrose, Elias is in it. Hopefully they do the Elias guitar thing, which would be good. Undisputed Era's in it, the entire lot. Gargano, Ciampa is in it too. Strong's in it. Reigns is in it.
Okay.
Trips. At the moment, Cena and Taker are not in the first list, but as you say, they're probably going to be in the second or third list.
Yeah, no shit.
Because there's probably going to be like 500 wrestlers you can choose from in this edition because they keep growing.
Taker's been the most inactive wrestler of the last 5 years, and he still makes the game. Because he just makes on legacy value, man. Goldberg will be in the game.
Hey, he's wrestled at...
Sting will be in the game. If they have the rights to it, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Brock will be in the game.
No shit.
He's
He's actually probably listed as the Universal Champion,
I
depending when they made it.
I want an option to do 2002 Brock, with the little speedos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
And like no tats.
From what I'm reading, they're going all out and doing like the gimmicks. I'm like, I
love it.
Well,
they got
doing
Daniel
the
Bryan.
one.
Yeah, they got Daniel Bryan from when he was like American Dragon.
Oh, fuck
And they got Daniel
yes.
Bryan NXT. They got Daniel Bryan pre-beard, and then they got current Daniel Bryan.
God damn, that's
Right,
a lot
it's
of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, they got like 4 different attires of the jobber.
They should do Ronda Rousey in like her judo gi.
Oh, that'd be a good moment.
Yeah.
That'd be a good moment.
Do like-
I'd pay Miz 2007 with the fucking 3/4 shorts.
Yes, the spiky faux hawk.
spiky hair where he ran the fucking fedora down one side.
Yes, I would be all about that. That'd be fucking great. So yeah,
You reckon Nichols would be in the game?
yes,
Dude,
100%.
I'd book Nichols to be in the game.
Or you just like do a custom character, just make them real fucking short,
Oh,
long,
yeah.
long hair. Not sure if it's a girl or a boy. Yeah, you could do that totally. Yeah. Anyway, so Super Showdown. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because
Yes, we can.
I have some things to say.
Ah,
All right, go cut your promo.
Well, I mean, I've basically cut it on Twitter after Raw this week. So you go to Twitter at StrayManiaPod to read that. But a lot of what we're seeing from Super Showdown is not impressing me, which is really bad to say because, like, obviously, so grateful that we're actually getting a massive show like this here in Melbourne. It's in our hometown. We don't have to go anywhere. I can see the MCG from my balcony, which is fucking fantastic. So it's amazing that they're coming out and doing this level show here in Australia, and it's going to be broadcast on the network, and it feels like a pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view, which is just the weird thing about it. But a few of the matches have been changed, or like we've gotten interesting choices for matches going into this. Now, the big one for me was when Cena got changed to a tag. He's now tagging with Lashley against the guy that no longer works for the company, and Elias.
I was going to say, well, they're going everywhere. They're going all out on everything else.
But they haven't changed that yet.
How have they not just straight up
the
been
pro-
like, card subject to change, Kevin Owens has quit.
pro-
so he ain't here no more.
The problem with that is the Australian ads running for Super
Yeah, I
Showdown are
noticed
still
that on
showing
watching
just the
SmackDown.
Cena,
Yeah.
the Cena Owens match. They haven't changed it to the tag.
I noticed that. It was a good
But the
moment.
one that got me was Shield versus fucking Strowman, Ziggler, and Drew.
That's a waste.
Yeah,
Because so far, the only title on contention is the Cruiserweight, isn't it?
yeah, the WWE match or the title hasn't been officially added to the Joe AJ match.
Yeah.
It just says WWE Champion AJ Styles
Yeah.
versus Samoa Joe.
And you have a number 1 contenders match.
Yep.
So far, the Universal Championship ain't going to be defended.
Well, no, because fucking Reigns is
Yep.
in a tag.
So far,
and
no
his
tag
opponent,
matches have been
and his
announced.
opponent at Hell in a Cell is also in that same fucking tag match. So,
Yeah.
though, even if Roman drops the belt, which he won't, Strowman will
No,
have the
come
belt.
on. I was shooting on this before. They're not going to have 2 unsuccessful cash-ins in a row.
That's a good point.
They're not.
But this isn't really.
After the blunder that was
Okay,
Baron
okay.
Corbin.
well, it was his fault for losing
Yeah,
opportunity.
but that doesn't mean
No,
it doesn't exist.
John Cena fucked it up for him.
But it doesn't mean that doesn't exist in
Yeah,
kayfabe.
but Baron Corbin decided to run his mouth
That's great.
on social media and
I agree.
backstage.
I
and
agree.
He deserved that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean in kayfabe he didn't lose his chance.
Yeah.
So in kayfabe, and I know the company still very much believes in it, Braun Strowman isn't going to cash in and lose after another unsuccessful one beforehand. It just doesn't make sense to the lineage, especially Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, we'll see come Hell in a Cell. Anyway, either option of champion, they're going to be in a 6-man tag.
I did enjoy that little thing that Braun said to Roman when he started attacking him is, "I'm not finished with you yet."
Good. My God.
I love it when he does
It was
that.
it was a good little callback. I did appreciate that. But anyway, so we have that. We have Ronda Rousey, the current Raw Women's Champion, in a 6-man tag.
6-woman tag.
Whatever. Like, if you want this to feel big and you want it to feel special, give us title matches. Give us that thought that maybe a title would change hands here in Australia, and it would be a massive moment. Like, don't hide the title for 500 days with Brock Lesnar. And then the minute you've got it on a guy who's on TV every week and you're coming down to Australia for a big match and you want to hype it up, don't have that title not on offer. Don't put him in a fucking 6-man. With the IC title as well, which is going to be tied up with Seth, like, where's the... Like, what is making... Aside from, if you take Taker and Triple H out of this card is this anything more than a glorified house show at this point?
Yeah, no, agreed.
I 100% agree too.
Yeah.
I feel like that we've wasted.
It's unfortunate because this is taking place in a month where the only other pay-per-view is going to be Evolution.
Yeah.
So this would fit into their canonical pay-per-view time slot.
Should.
And it just doesn't feel like it.
No.
Doesn't
And
feel
like,
It's not to say they're not going to progress story, because having, Shield versus Braun Strowman and the
yeah,
other
well,
two
at least
is
we know this
still
heel turn's going to
story.
stick for at least another month. But
Yeah.
At least know one thing. I think that in a month's time, Nikki Bella's going to turn heel on Ronda Rousey and attack her to set up the Rousey-Bella match for Evolution.
don't care.
So you're all
Yeah,
fired.
that's fucking fuck the Bellas, man. I'm so sick of them.
You're all fired up, aren't you?
Well, I don't want.
I'm not going to lie, I'm hyped for Brie. I just don't care about Nikki because you just know she goes straight for the belt. But Brie is like, she has her spot.
Yeah.
She has a spot with Daniel Bryan.
Primo.
I really do not like
Actually,
that.
no. I've
fucking
got a
hate
beef. Wait, no, I've got a beef now.
All right, go on.
So,
Oh, boy.
What-
What is this? Shootcast?
what? Yeah.
Shoot cast.
Why?
Yeah, hit me.
Oh, why in the hell is Brie Bella teaming up with her sister Nikki on Raw? Yet she's supposed to be in a storyline feud with the Miz and Maurice on SmackDown. That makes no fucking
The
sense.
Bellas are.
Ricky explained this in the best way possible. The Bellas are drafted to Raw, but
Yep.
Brie's drafted to SmackDown. What don't you understand?
That makes no fucking sense.
Well, the Bellas as a collective are drafted to one brand, and then Brie as a solo act is drafted to another.
Piss off WWE and Vince, you fuckwit.
It doesn't matter. Like you're gonna have Brie going with Daniel. I don't know why the fuck they're doing a mixed tag, but I got the feeling this week on SmackDown they're gonna like do a three-way of like a 3-team tag with like Zelina and
Almost.
fucking Almas chucked in as well.
Yeah.
Because like these like three
Don't do that.
not
Do
husband and wife teams, but three mixed.
If they somehow work their way into a triple threat mixed tag match at fucking Hell in a Cell, honestly, you've just straight up ruined
I don't think
the
they'll do it.
potential of Miz and Bryan.
I don't think
that
they'll
is
do
the
it,
best storyline in the company right now,
Yeah.
and doing that would just be insane.
I will stop watching wrestling if Almas and Selena Vega have to be dragged into that fucking train wreck.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, I just don't want to be like, I'm not going to be disappointed when we go to Super Show. I'm not going to be sour or anything once we get there, but just like the build up, just the fact it doesn't feel like a pay per view. It doesn't has that sort of like magnitude. Like all they're selling right now is Triple H versus Taker. That's all they're pushing right now.
Yeah.
And
But give it time, man, because they still have Hell in a Cell they got to promote, right?
I know.
And then there's, from that until mid-October. So it's a good month.
mid-October.
Early October.
Oh, when is it?
October
It's-
6th.
It's 3 days before my birthday.
Oh, wow, because everyone else knows that, Michael.
Yeah, it's October 6th. Like it's not
A good moment, fair enough. My bad.
about a month away.
My bad.
So I think there's only like 3 weeks between Hell in a
Piss
Cell
off, you
and
grotty jobber. Sorry, Ricky, go on.
That's all right. I think there's only 3 weeks between Hell in a Cell and Super Showdown. So they'll only have like a couple of weeks to build towards it, and then everything sort of switches to Evolution and Survivor Series after that. But I don't know. Just the fact that we got the Universal Championship back on a regular basis and they're not going to defend it just sort of like is weird to me. And the fact they haven't really announced AJ v Samoa Joe for the belt is kind of just like, well, what are you doing with it then? Like even the house show, the house show we went to was AJ v Cena for the belt. Like,
With Boomer Harvey as special guest ring announcer or timekeeper.
yeah, but like at least we got that match for a title. Like, it's just frustrating. It's just really fucking frustrating to have to like bitch about something that I'm so looking forward to. Would you stop taking fucking selfies?
I'm not taking selfies.
You are taking selfies. You're literally lying back in your chair doing nothing.
I'm promoting it on socials.
He's,
fuck off.
he's Insta-storying this
I'm-
shit.
I'm promoting on
Insta-story, man. Insta-story. It's all about the Insta-story.
Hey guys, we're live at
Yeah.
Australian Mania right now.
Shut up.
So, but
yeah.
yeah, so that's Super Showdown. But what I'm looking forward to...
Hey, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing 100,000 people fucking pop when Buddy Murphy, wins and beats Cedric Alexander clean.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward. Like the fact that he's got a title match, like he walks away with it. He's got to walk away with it. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I mean, look, hometown, yeah, like
Hometown. Well,
Hometown, man. Hometown booking.
Vince loves losing in the hometown.
that's what I'm saying. Hometown booking.
Oh, but he's a heel too, so I could see him winning it as a heel in his hometown.
Yeah, but then you get that really, really mixed pop, though.
I know.
Because he's heel.
Like,
He gets the pop from winning because he's Australian.
It does
but then he
not,
fucking stiffs us.
It does
like,
not
all right,
matter.
buddy.
It does not matter that he's a heel.
No shit. Heel and faces don't exist in the company anymore.
I'd be booing Cedric Alexander on the nights.
No shit. So
Yeah.
will every other Australian,
Exactly,
Michael.
like,
Wow, you're the only one. Oh, that makes it sound like he's the only. Oh,
Continue,
turn my
Ricky.
mic off. All right, fine.
Don't cut his mic off.
When I run this company, I'm running the board.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Um,
You're not good as me.
He's not.
You're not as good as me.
You know, because I'm... Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, so Super Showdown, look... all right.
I'm not
Card subject to change. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens in a couple of weeks.
like with Super Showdown. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
It's worse. Anyway, Raw, SmackDown, what happened? Stuff, things, turned Braun heel. Why? Bad.
I don't care. I'm looking forward to running down the all-in match card, but we'll do that shortly.
What are you looking at me
Do
for?
that at the end. Well, Raw.
You're not the most vocal on it.
Any particular thoughts on Raw this week? What did you like? What did
Oh,
you
shoot,
find?
I'm trying to actually remember it.
Well,
literally-
Trish Stratus slapped the hell out of Elias. Which I
Yeah,
thought
there was
good.
literally like three things that stood out from Raw this week. Trish Stratus came back and
come
slapped
on.
the fuck out of Elias, which was brilliant. He called her 60 years old. If she's 60 years old...
Finsky took the L to Corbin.
That's some bullshit.
Now, that
is some
I
bullshit.
get it because he took the L by DQ. It's like he didn't actually get pinned. But the fact... And look, okay, you know what? I started this wrong. Granted, in storyline and kayfabe, they did sell the fact that it was Baron Corbin got shook by the demon. I want to fight the man. You preemptive, like just forced it on him, and then his general manager so recalled it and said this is a no DQ match, and then went to beat him.
Yes.
Right, so that's what fair enough. But he still took the L to Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm aware. Wasn't happy.
what are we doing? What are we doing with the product of Finn Balor? This annoys me.
Just the fact
this
that he's-
annoys me to no end.
Just the fact that he's still in a feud with Baron Corbin after beating him clean.
The demon beat him clean, okay? Apparently there's a big difference between the man and the demon.
There is no difference. Like,
just face
if
paint.
if you look from like
Hey,
a...
don't break kayfabe like that.
Sorry. There's a massive difference. They're
It
completely
takes 4 to 5 business days to channel the demon, okay?
You just got to like sit and meditate while they're putting face paint on him and shit. Yeah.
That's the brilliance of the demon kayfabe is that we don't know how the demon comes out. There's only been like little dripples of story that have been like, all right, here's how you get the demon out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to prod him against a bigger guy.
Yeah.
You got to call him an idiot. You got to do all this kind of stuff. And then it's like, well, then he calls the demon out over a week, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you can't, and this is the brilliance of what happened last week with Roman Reigns. Just straight up calling him out, right? And just
Yeah.
being like, look, there's not enough time for you to put on the face paint and all that
Yeah.
kind of shit. It's like, that's a little piece of story there for you being like, well, it does take him a week then. It's like, he just can't call on the demon whenever.
He's got
and
to
that
call up.
adds some allure to that.
He's got to call up his body paint guy, get him a plane ticket,
Don't
fly
break
him over.
kayfabe. He's just got to call the demon. He's got to be like, demon, sus.
I need you
When's the
back.
next flight out?
Demon, bring your makeup kit.
Demon, I need you, baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, taking the L. But like aside from that, like I actually like the.
I would
opening-
love to see a bit of fantasy booking with Finn Balor where he just goes, fuck it, I'm letting the demon take over indefinitely, and then it's just week in, week out, you get demon.
It takes away the specialness of it, though.
But I'm not saying now, I'm not saying a year from now, but it gets to a point where it's like he's been pushed so far where it's like, fuck it, you want the demon's here permanently,
Yeah.
permanently, quote unquote. And then he just goes literally a week in, week out with the demon, and it's just like he can't control him anymore.
But then does
Like, the
he just
demon's here.
become?
And then when Reg Balor comes back, he's taken on some of the properties of the demon. Maybe he goes half face paint, right? Maybe half body face paint. And it's like half demon, half man.
I feel him coming out every
There's
week
so much potential with the gimmick.
as the demon. He would just become the boogeyman.
Nah, because you treat him better. You'd fucking treat him
Hey,
better.
they treated the boogeyman pretty
problem-
well, man.
the
His
difference-
first feud was against fucking Booker T.
The fact that he was eating worms didn't go well with him.
No,
All
and
right.
then he smashed a clock on his head.
Which was a good moment.
It was just a mix of fucking just like, let's give him like this gimmick, this
It's the
gimmick, and
nuances.
this gimmick.
It's the nuances. The boogeyman itself.
Nuances. Okay.
It's the nuance. It's the boogeyman himself without the worms and without the hitting. And if it was just a demonic presence, would be over.
Oh yeah.
All right?
But
The
they
same
made
way
him,
that Finn is.
But they made him eat worms and bash a clock on his head.
Yeah, but this is why they've handled the demon
Such a
King
weird gimmick.
so well.
I
Is
know.
that they've done that without the worms and the clock, but have made it look really super fucking strong.
Speaking of Booker,
Kind of.
King Booker came out and coronated the New Day into
So
joining
we're
the
just done with Raw, are we?
No, and just look, we're jumping around all over the place, man. But yeah, fucking King Booker.
coronated the New Day and joining the 5-time club.
And then
of
went
champions.
full Saxton, which was the funniest moment of the week in wrestling.
Yep.
The New Day can do no wrong.
No, they can't.
They do.
They can do no fucking wrong. And like all these people just like, when are they breaking up? What? Never,
No,
never,
never.
ever. Actually, I think Woods came out this
He
week.
did. He came out on some podcast.
Yeah, he's
and was
like,
straight
whenever.
up shoot. My government name is something. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
He's like, my government name tells you, as me as the person, we are never breaking up. I'm like,
Austin Creed. That's his.
No, not Creed. Austin something.
It's Austin. Yeah.
It's Austin something.
Because Austin Creed was his TNA name.
Yeah. But his government name, I love it. He put it
Yeah.
over and he goes, my government name. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's such a fucking good moment.
Yeah.
That's so breaking of kayfabe, but I respect it.
But yeah, I love it. But yeah, no, having them like never breaking up ever, that's what you need because they're too fucking
because
good,
we can
man.
live it. WWE, and I was reading something. WWE are in a position now where they can adopt the same thing that New Japan is doing and go faction warfare. And go,
Yeah.
these guys can exist in factions, and I think that's where the Shield's going to go. Because initially, when I looked at the Shield reforming, I'm just like, well, there goes your semblance behind Seth Rollins being IC champion because he's just going to now be in the shadow of Roman Reigns,
No.
right? But it's like, no. If you go faction warfare and just have them aligned where they're very notably friends, but they go and do their own storylines, that's a good moment.
That's what I said
right?
last week. I mean, like this version of the Shield is going to be more like the Elite than the old Shield.
As it should be.
Yeah, so I think that's where they're going. And like, I think if you can start doing that with the New Day as well, where like once they drop the tag titles again, I think it is
Move
time.
Kofi up to fight for the world title.
Well, yeah, either him or him. I reckon Big E. Big E's the guy. I reckon.
No, I'd want Kofi, man. I want Kofi.
Look,
I need Kofi
for
to have that belt, man.
for the legacy. Yes,
That is such a good story right there.
Oh yeah, for the legacy, Kofi 100%. But I think it's going to come down to probably Big E or Woods going for the big belt eventually when they have that. When someone deems them worthy of going after that belt, which I think they should because they're both really, really good.
Sorry. Your faces.
I want to fire him.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
So, yeah, I just think like you can have them have this title run, have them join the 5-time club, it all be good, but then eventually let them sort of go off and do their own thing a little bit. Like
Hopefully that's
they're,
their plan.
They're great as a tag team. They're
Yeah.
so good as a tag team. But there is a potential there for them to be singles competitors,
That's it, yeah.
but still remaining part of the New Day.
Yeah.
So I think like that's what they're going with. Like the direction with the Shield now is that. Would you stop taking selfies?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm actually not. See?
You closed Snapchat.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Can we just talk about wrestling? This is a
Anyway,
wrestling
anyway,
podcast.
all right. We'll go back to Raw for a sec. Can we just talk about Kevin?
Yeah.
Stop.
I love it. I love Kevin Owens because all he had to say was, I quit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that, man. It wasn't just
It was-
that.
it was sitting-
the sitting
It
in the
was
ring
sitting in the
during
ring
the
for
ad
the
break.
entire ad break.
The entire ad break,
Yep.
lights are out. You got photos of him just sitting in the ring. He is one of the best sellers in all of wrestling I possibly have seen ever.
He's
Right?
just
He's
Ever?
up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
One of the best
big,
sellers. One of them, not the
big,
best,
big,
but one of.
Big,
Right?
That's a big call.
One
Big
of
call.
the-
no,
one of
he
the
is
best,
like
yeah.
his
Alright.
facials.
His ability, his facial emotions, like inflections in his voice, everything.
Yeah, he's like he
goes
like
forward to sell.
he had his voice like break a tiny little bit when he
Yeah.
goes, I quit. Which I thought was fucking. And he was like, he nearly cried.
He
Like,
nearly, dude. This is what I'm saying. Like,
he's so fucking.
I've
good.
been very vocal
He's
about it
so
before,
fucking good.
and now it's been furthered with proof. Kevin Owens is the best product in the company.
He nearly is. He's.
Now that Brock has dipped,
I can.
honestly, I believe he's the best product in the company.
Yeah, and I do not know. Like, I don't know where this is going. The rumor is he's going to be.
Paul Heyman guy.
Paul Heyman's new guy.
Which I pay it.
I'm not a fan of that.
I pay it. He doesn't need it.
No, he
but
doesn't. He's one of the best fucking talkers.
I know.
Ever. You do not need Paul Heyman.
I agree. But I'm also excited to see what happens though, because it could just be a new era of Paul Heyman.
You know what I would be more excited for? He goes back down to NXT and joins Undisputed Era.
Oh,
you're such
yes.
a mark.
I am such a mark,
such a
and I
mark.
don't give a fuck because him and Adam Cole as part of fucking the Mount Rushmore of wrestling with the Bucks, like that was some shit back in like the PWG, like OG PWG days. That shit was awesome. Having those two back together, like he rocked the fucking Undisputed Era shirt when he was at NXT.
I'm gonna shoot on you for a moment. You said go back down to NXT. I'm gonna agree.
Move,
I
move laterally.
don't, move laterally. to
Move
NXT.
laterally to
I don't know if you
NXT.
guys saw the tweet Ciampa put out recently.
Yeah, man.
But he's just straight up like,
He's like, I ain't leaving.
I ain't leaving.
I ain't leaving.
NXT is the pinnacle of this. And look, honestly,
He's fucking right.
the man's spitting truth.
He's damn near right.
I'm not looking at that promo going, well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's not wrong.
Well, I think he's pretty
right?
onto something there.
And it's a beautiful thing to see that.
Yeah.
Where it's just been like, look, I'm staying here.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
want to go.
I'm not. I think that's where they need to go
And
now.
based on-
establish NXT only talents.
Based on 90% of the call-ups we've had, stay in NXT. Don't go
Yeah.
to fucking that main because they will not know what to do with you. Like, I can imagine Ciampa, like, just not, at least to Vince, like, not translating well enough because he's a small guy. He's not supposed to be the big badass and the big, like, you know, he's going to come and fuck.
Is this truly what is yet to come when Triple H takes over?
Well,
We're looking at this, right? And obviously NXT is the benefit of a smaller product, of a smaller scale.
The big word is, with the new deal with allegedly with Fox Sports, is Fox wants to promote NXT up to like network television.
Yeah, that's a good
and
moment.
give it 2 hours, so it'll be on the same footing as SmackDown.
Because whilst it is Triple H's brainchild, and we are going to give him a lot of credit for how it's booked,
Fucking right.
it is still very much in benefit of the fact that it can work within an hour schedule.
Yep.
It can work sporadically.
Yep.
Right? It can be handled in blocks, right? Like, it has the benefit of only 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year.
Yep.
Right? So it's like storylines are they're bigger, right? They're bigger when they go onto those pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It's like, if you start to push it the same way as, quote-unquote, the main brand, it loses, it will lose its appeal.
It loses what makes it special.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. We're looking at what a Triple H product is. If he were to take over Raw and SmackDown, and we're going to be looking at that and going, "Well, this is what the product is going to be," or is it because no, NXT is perfect the way it is because it has to be that hour block. It has to be something that they film in a very, very indie arena. Like it's literally homegrown. Very rare. They go on house shows, but everything that's filmed at NXT is either filmed for pay-per-view in an arena or it's filmed at Full Sail.
Yeah.
Right? It's like those are the people that know the product.
Yeah.
Right? Then they get invested in those guys, right? We're not having to go out and do like a circus act every single week doing different promotions, like different towns, different counties.
Yeah. And that's where you get the stuff like the Hey Bailey chants.
Yeah.
They're born out of that Full Sail environment.
Yeah.
And if you did move it over to network TV, it would become a touring brand. It would be 2 hours. It'd be doing the same shit as SmackDown.
You'd be doing the exact same thing. It'd be a week in, week out traveling.
My money would be on it would just follow SmackDown wherever SmackDown went.
Exactly.
Probably.
Right? And then you're looking at that and going, yeah, all right, we get
just-
it. Triple H book. We're going to give it its respect. But
It
then
would
in
lose
the
something.
long term, it loses it, right?
Yeah.
Because it then now becomes week in, week out, forced stories if they have to meet time, all those kind of little things. You lose the appeal of the Full Sail where it's like, that is a homegrown indie guys.
Yeah.
We are invested in these dudes because as they come out, we know them, basically. Right?
That's why like a Ring of Honor crowd is always so good.
Yeah.
Because for the majority of the year, they film in the same spot. They do travel, Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you have the same crowd. And
And I like to believe WWE knows this too. They know literally they've been like, okay, we know what the indie market's like, and this is literally NXT. But
yeah,
better.
this is our version of that.
Yeah, this is
It's-
our version of that, but better.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about all this, like, Ciampa moving, all that kind of stuff, but, like, and just in general, NXT guys moving here and there, but we are at a point where they don't need to, right? But don't change NXT.
It would be great to have like a roster of guys who NXT is their main brand. You can still have the developmental aspect of it, but their
Just
job.
turn the Performance Center into it. Just be like, NXT is the brand that sees Performance Center talent, but Performance Center is still very much development.
Yeah. But like it's the showcase.
Two
for,
tiers of NXT. The very clearly upper main tier, and then you got the guys who do like the breakout show in like
Yeah.
the first 20 minutes, the first 2 matches, where it's like these guys are coming up from the Performance Center. But then you go into Ciampa, Lars Sullivan, Undisputed Era. These guys run the culture of NXT.
Yeah.
Right. Like
it is so hard to sort of like, I think, rectify with people that you can have that duality in NXT. I think for a lot of people who know a lot of the indie stars coming in, it's just like, this is their pit stop before they hit main.
yeah,
But-
it can't be that way now.
But yeah, it's like it's a lot of guys.
Like NXT needs to be treated like, you know, a competition to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, it does. Like it needs to feel like. I wish there was more crossover.
Well-
like how pumped were you guys when Kevin Owens came out and answered John Cena's Open Challenge?
Yeah.
It was just like, what the fuck is happening?
And
Is
then-
NXT, is NXT invading? Holy shit! Like
Treat it like its own company.
that feeling again.
And then Sami Zayn as well when he did the Open Challenge too,
Yeah.
'cause he was still there too before he got injured.
So like, there's something special about NXT guys coming out while they're still entrenched in NXT, but coming over to main.
But
Treat it, but this is what they can do with Raw and SmackDown, but they just don't do it where Or they do it, but very, very rarely, where it's like, just jump over. Do like a surprise appearance. They do it when Survivor Series around, so we're going to start seeing it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because it's just a gimmick of Survivor Series, Raw, brand. So when New Day appear on Raw, it's like, holy fuck, right? But like, I agree with what you're saying. But what they need to do, and I think is what they're going to start doing, is now with the establishment of NXT UK, NXT is very much its own company within the company.
Yeah.
So it should be treated as really separate. Not developmental, but separate. These are the guys who are making a name for themselves. They're equal to you, but they're like, all this kind of stuff. And then do that. Like, have them jump over. Be like, all right, fuck yeah, I'll take you on. Right? But if they win something, take it to NXT.
And I think with the Royal Rumble as well, it's a good way to tease the NXT talents coming through. I mean, we've seen that over the last 5 years where NXT talent have just come through the Royal Rumble, and then a few months later they come up with
Everyone pops hard.
I like this year's Royal Rumble how they did it because they did have Adam Cole do it.
And he was a marathon man.
And he was a marathon. He had a really good showing. They did it for Kairi Sane as well, but they're still very much in NXT. We didn't look at that. Well, I mean, we did look at that and go, holy shit, are they going to get called up tomorrow night on Raw?
Yeah.
Right? Because they were no, it's been fucking 7 months and they're still in the NXT system. Like, that's the beauty of that.
And Kairi Sane's only just won the championship.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of that, is that they're still there. But, like, it's now when we see them come out next, it's like, we don't know if it's the call-up anymore. We don't want it to be the call-up. We want it to be that surprise. And they should do it more with Raw going over there and competing against their talent. Right? They did it with the Revival. I think they did it with
Tyler Breeze has gone back.
Tyler Breeze has gone back, right?
Like, that's... I don't know if that's like an indictment of how they're booking Breeze and the Revival on TV. It's just like, go back to NXT for a bit, because we've got nothing for you on main. But would it be viable to bump it to 2 hours if you said to
the culture of the crowd?
If you said to a few of these guys, you know, say to like the Revival, say Tyler Breeze, say even like Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins, like people who are just doing nothing, who they don't have time for on Raw and SmackDown. Go back, be the veteran, be the big fish in the small pond, but at the same time, you are bringing these other guys up to trying to bring them up to your level, and going from Raw back to NXT.
They do that with the veteran guys on the main roster anyway, but they should be doing it even more so with the NXT guys.
Because like I think that the catalyst for this, I think, was like the Cassius Ohno signing when he came back from Ring of Honor because he had the NXT stint. Went back to the Indies and came back to NXT. And he said he never wants to go up to main. He wants to stay on and then become a trainer at the Performance Center. Yeah. And he's like a great guy to have as a trainer, because this guy has fucking 25 years of experience as a professional wrestler. So he's a perfect guy to go into the Performance Center and train these guys up. But he said, like, I have no desire to go to main. Yeah. I love what I do at NXT. You know, he only shows up every now and then, but when he does, the crowd pops huge because it's fucking Cassius Ohno or Chris Hero. Yeah. But having him stay on as that senior guy and then training in the Performance Center is the perfect role for a guy like him, who's like, kind of at the end of my career, body's not holding up as well as it used to. I can still go out, put young guys over, but my value to this company right now is building the next generation. Yeah. But then you can have guys like Ciampa, Gargano, like.
But those guys should be adopting that moniker, not the training moniker, but being like, I plan to be a 7-time NXT champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's my goal.
Like, I'm like, that is, it's such a.
Once you build, because that's the big thing, right? When you go into the wrestling industry, you're looking at that, and I like to believe every wrestler needs to look at this way and go, if I'm getting into this industry, I'm out for the top belt. What's the top belt at the time? It's the WWE title. Yeah. Right? Like, it might not be in 10 years, and it might not be in 20 years, right? Yeah. But your goal and your ideology is, I go for the biggest belt in the biggest industry, right? And it just so happens to be that belt. Yep. So you're looking at that and you're going NXT and you're going, okay, shit, like, I'm here, but I know Raw is just an arm's reach away. So if I get that opportunity, I take it. They need to start building the belt alongside what the Universal belt has done, and just be like, this is a world title. The NXT Championship, consider its own company, elevate it. NXT Championship is a world championship. Then you can start looking at that and being like, well, as long as I just want to become a world champion, I can stick within the NXT system.
It's where the UK title kind of muddles things a bit.
Yeah, the UK title's weird because it has how separate is the UK division from the NXT division?
And it has the same.
It's NXT UK.
It has the same design and plate as the WWE title. Whereas the NXT title is that unique oval, like almost old school shape. Yeah. But you look at that NXT UK title and you're like, damn, that is a fucking, like, that is a big belt. Like, that looks like a a belt that is above the NXT title.
Very interesting how they're doing that. I like
Yeah.
it because you look, it's still honestly very.
They
early
released
stages.
the NXT UK Women's title this week too.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful.
Looks dope.
Yeah.
Because obviously it looks designed the same way as
yeah,
the,
but it's got that
UK one.
the nice white strap, and it just fucking looks good. But
But the thing, because it's a brilliant
It is-
discussion to have now because that's
it's
like
such an interesting
we're living in a world where
what's the hierarchy?
WWE has added layers below the WWE, the world titles that they have on their main brands.
Yeah.
Right? So is their plan to therefore, when they do that, ergo elevate that what they're trying to elevate it, right, by adding more in the middle section,
Yeah.
or are we going to like? And I think they honestly should. I don't think we've ever heard anything about it, but they definitely should move NXT as its own company. Quote unquote company within WWE, obviously, but its own company, and call NXT belt the world title. So go back to a 3 world title system,
Yeah.
right? But then what does that UK belt do then? Does it just become a regional belt? Because I think that's what the initial plan was before they opened the UK division.
Yeah.
Was let it, because Dunn has appeared on numerous UK
He was
shows.
and he was on NXT this week though.
Oh, yeah. But he's appeared on numerous Progress Defiant. He's done like
Yeah.
all those ones, right? And he's been promoted as the WWE's UK champion. So it's a territorial belt. But now is it going to be exclusive to just the NXT UK, or is it still going to be a territorial belt? Because that was the interesting part about it initially, was that I would have loved to have seen a Progress guy not signed to NXT, win the NXT UK belt, and then move that belt circumventing around the UK, and then have that as what they would call the NWA equivalent. Where There's no NWA promotion, but it becomes the biggest belt in that region to be defended across the companies out of there.
Speaking of NXT UK, we've got to send a huge congratulations out to Rhea Ripley, Australia's Rhea Ripley, for
True.
being the first NXT UK Women's Champion.
Yeah,
When
it's a good moment.
when is that all happening? Like when is that going up on the
I
network?
think October. I think it'll be. I think
Who
it'll
did
be
she
before.
beat? Tony Storm in the final, didn't she? Or was it Dakota Kai?
I think it was Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
All right. Seeing as it's all in week, let's talk about all in. Run down the match card. Little cheeky predictions.
It's a good little match card, I think.
Oh God, I really don't think so.
Yeah, no, you had some issues with it.
I don't have issues. So now this, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The card itself, without the all-in attachment to it, is a good indie card, right?
Yep.
It's going to be a good show, but you're slapping on a big company level promotion pay-per-view kind of like aura to it, right? It's like it's the biggest indie show ever, something like that, right?
Yep.
Along the lines, that's what they're promoting it as. It just does not like the card in terms of that. Obviously, Kenny versus Penta. Is it Penta or is it?
Pentagon Jr.
So it's Pentagon. Yeah, he's versus Penta. So
Yeah.
Kenny versus Penta is going to be a great match. Should be the penultimate. Main event, obviously, Cody versus Nick Aldis. That in of itself is going to be a brilliant match because it has the story. It has one of the two best workers on the scene right now. It just has everything going for it, and with the entire backing of like, this is what All In is about, kind of thing, right?
Yep.
The story behind that is brilliant, but everything else on that card, to me personally, just does not stack up to that level, right? Of what this all-in pay-per-view means. Obviously, maybe they'll have some surprises that'll do this, and this. Some people that we weren't expecting there. Maybe Kevin Owens will show up as Kevin Steen, right? And this will just really put it over the edge as something really crazy. But just on those 2 matches alone, comparatively to what the other 8 or 9 matches are on the card, to me, doesn't scream greatest indie show of all time.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be shit. I'm just saying comparatively to how All In is being perceived, how it's booked, and how it's looked at as in the Bucks' eyes.
It'll be decent.
It'll be decent, but to me, it's just going to. I immediately just feel a little bit lackluster by it, by just knowing that it's going to be so high, so regarded so highly, right? That having everything else like that, it just doesn't seem like it stacks up.
Well, we'll go over the 0-hour pre-show matches first. So we got the first one is the over-the-budget battle royale, and the winner faces Jay Lethal later on in the evening. So you have Moose, Jordan Grace, Cole Cabana, Ethan Page, Rocky Romero, Brian Cage, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs, Marcus Dunn, Brendan Cutler, Punishment Martinez, and 4 others to be determined. Who do we think is going to win this one?
I'll
Who do we think?
go with Moose. Moose v. Jay Lethal
Moose.
seems like a fun
Moose.
Fun match to have.
I love Moose.
Who else is in it again? I'm sorry.
Jordan Gray.
I zoned.
Good work, dickhead.
Jordan Grace, Colt Cabana, Ethan Page, Rocky Romero, Brian Cage, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs, Marcus Dunn, Brandon Cutler, Punishment Martinez, and 4 to be determined.
Honestly, I don't know, dude.
I reckon Trent Beretta's definitely going to be part of the 4.
Yeah, well, the other 4 members
and
who...
Chucky T.
Chucky T, Trent Barrera, Matt Cross, and MJF have not been confirmed just yet. So I think they'll be put into that Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Cage do it.
Yeah.
Same
I'd
here.
love to see Cage do it.
Yeah.
Cage is on a roll right now on the scene.
True.
On an absolute roll.
I'm
Granted, he probably doesn't need the rub, but it is a one-off all-in like that. So, fuck if I don't know, man.
I'm going to go with Moose. I think, yeah.
Moose as well.
Yeah, Moose is my second match. Briscoes versus SoCal Uncensored.
That's just a match, right? Isn't it? There's no title.
No,
is the only title on the line the NWA belt?
And
No,
the Ring of Honor World title.
And the Ring of Honor World titles on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know. Briscoes aren't putting the Ring of Honor
Nope.
tag titles up? Oh,
No.
okay.
So,
Shame.
yeah, SoCal Uncensored versus the Briscoes.
I'm going to go Briscoes.
That's the problem with I think it's the fundamental problem with all this is that we're looking at that and going, well, the boys are booking it. There's no particular, there's no particular allegiance to any club or company there. It's like, no, the boys are booking this. Which makes sense for the NWA because the NWA belt isn't particularly owned by any company aside from NWA. So it's like, yep, if the boys want to book this, obviously have respect to NWA. NWA probably has the final say on who wins their belt.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, that belt circulates across Ring of Honor, blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it's like, if Cody gets the final say with the Ring of Honor belt or has a say in the Ring of Honor belt, you're not looking at that going, oh, how about you book one of my boys to win it? Right? It's always going to be the problem there.
It is. So, Briscoe.
I'm going Briscoes.
I go Briscoes. I saw them down here when they were doing World Series. They're good moments.
Yeah.
Same here. Madison Rain, Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, Tessa Blanchard. Female fatal 4-way.
Chelsea. I like her gimmick right now.
I'm going Madison Rain.
I'll go Tessa Blanchard.
I respect the Tessa Blanchard pick too. That was my second pick. She's good too.
She's damn good.
But Chelsea Green's hot mess gimmick is sensational.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with Tessa Blanchard.
The Green Arrow, Steve Amell versus Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels. I mean,
Fallen Angel.
Nah, you know what? Fuck it.
You gonna go Steven?
Yeah, ML, dude. ML, dude. You're not signing a big boy like that and he ain't taking the W.
Nah, I'm still going Christopher Daniels.
Chicago Street Fight, Joey Janela versus Hangman Page. I think
The boys are booking it. Hangman goes over.
Yeah, I was going to say Hangman.
I'm going Joey.
Boys are booking it.
I'm going Hangman.
Joey.
Hangman needs the rub.
Not really.
What does the rub mean in terms of this? You get the big minute all in, but where does it go from there?
No, that's why I think Joey Janela wins it.
Yeah, fair. You know what? Because Hangman's got more going for him, so I'll pay that.
Yeah.
Right? I go Hangman because solely the boys are booking it. Right? But
They're not going to like book every single member.
no, I know. Because isn't that the brilliance of the main event? Is that we're looking at going, well, Cody literally is running this thing. He's already booked himself at the main event, right? So, and we're looking at this going, well, what's the extent of his booking power? Is he going to take the end of it? I believe Cody is that true to the industry that he won't, but we could get double worked here.
Yep,
because we're led to believe that. It's the Roman Reigns booking. We're led to believe because Cody's booking it, therefore Cody goes over. But because he looks at it that way, so therefore he won't go over because he wants to swerve the fans. But he could double swerve the fans by actually going over because we initially thought that he wasn't going to go over.
Marty Scurll versus Kushika Okada.
Follow that fucking...
Okada or Scurll?
Okada's just not having a good year right now.
They've been building up like Marty not winning so much.
Is this the payoff here?
The boys are booking it.
Is the payoff here at All In for Marty?
I reckon Marty wins.
Because the boys are booking it.
Okay, so
No, I just think the story they're running is that like everyone's been telling Marty that he's fucked, and that's literally like
But that's how it should be. He's
Right,
fucking Okada. Like,
Rey Mysterio even told him the other day. He's like, "No, you fucked." It was like 3 episodes of Being the Elite ago. He was like, "You know, Marty was talking to Ray. He's like, you're one of the best junior heavyweights in the world. You won the heavyweight title at WWE. How do I beat Okada?" And he just like Ray was just like, "Nah, you're fucked."
as he should be, because fucking hell in kayfabe, man.
But I just think, man, like he's
the greatest world champion of our time.
he is.
Is he not? Like, he is, right? He is.
He
Like,
is.
we'd have to look at that and go, he's the greatest world champion of our
But now
time.
he's having like this weird,
And he's having a weird stretch.
this weird like midlife crisis almost. It's fucking great. But he got rid of Gato.
He did too.
Yeah, he got rid of Gato. Like that's big. But I just think Marty gets it. I think Marty pulls out some bullshit win.
You know what? I'll give it to you because they are treating Okada like shit. So I got Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
I got Marty as well.
Hey, we all got Marty. All right.
So Jay Lethal versus our picks for the over the budget battle royale.
I think Jay Lethal retains.
Jay Lethal, man, they're not going to switch the belt over like that.
He retains.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll go. I'm going to leave the world title for last. So we're going to go Kenny versus Pentagon.
Yeah, that's 100% going to be the penultimate. Kenny, the New Japan World Champion is not taking an L.
No, I actually think Pentagon's going to go over here.
The New Japan World Champion ain't taking an L.
I think Pentagon's going to go over.
I know, but he ain't taking an L, man.
Dude, he lost to fucking.
This is
who did he
the
lose to
biggest
in G1?
indie show of the year of all time, right?
Yeah.
If you're
New
wanting,
Japan is not an indie wrestling.
No, I
promotion.
get it. But still, there's a lot more people that are going to be paying eyes on this who don't particularly know, or should know, but don't particularly understand Omega's brilliance. So you're in two schools of thought here. There are those people who are tuning in knowing Omega, so therefore he gives the rub to Pentagon to establish a new star, or you take the opportunity to further elevate the star of Kenny Omega. So then when you do further indie shows down the line, the Omega brand is huge, and you use that for yourself.
Food for thoughts. I like that.
I mean, I think Omega's going to win.
I think Omega's going to win, right?
But
I think it'll be a great match.
I wouldn't be surprised
right?
if Penta pulls out a win here. But anyway, you got Pentagon.
I've got Pentagon.
Cool.
A bit of an upset.
No,
Why
it's
not? Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Ray, Phoenix, and Bandito.
I mean, it's the Bucks show, but
That's what I'm saying, dude. The
just
boys are looking at it.
I mean, it's Bucks.
The boys are
and
looking at it.
It's Bucks and Kota, but then you got Rey Mysterio in there as a fucking legend.
He took the L in Japan.
He did.
He took the L in Japan,
Which
dude.
makes me think he might be taking a win here.
But he's moving the WWE afterwards, apparently.
It's a good point.
He can take the L here.
Leaves the Indies on his back.
Yeah.
All right, Bucks and Kota.
Bucks and Kota, because the boys are booking it.
I think
The boys are looking at
I
it.
think Bucks and Kota, and I think Mysterio. This will be his last indie show, or one of his last indie dates before he heads over to WWE because he's about to sign a long-term deal with them. Now the main event: Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes.
I'm actually really hyped for this. But this is the one match I'm really hyped for
I think-
because there's so much story to this.
I think Cody's going to win this.
Have you guys watched the NWA's 10 Pounds of Gold leading up?
No.
No.
How have you not? You talk about being the elite. Oh, I watch all this
I
shit.
fucking love being the elite. It's great.
Oh, watch 10 Pounds of Gold, dude.
all right. Fucking hell.
Honestly. Oh, it's in kayfabe, just like emotional storytelling behind the lineage of the NWA, what it means to people. Oh, it's brilliant. But anyway, that aside, the 10 Pounds of Gold has been one of the driving forces of the narrative leading forward into this match, obviously, because it's supplemented by the fact that Aldis is one of the best wrestlers out there, underrated, been booked heavily shit as Magnus before. He's using all that in his momentum. And Cody has, like, legacy claim to the belt, right? So there's just so much going into this match.
Who have you got?
Aldis.
Aldis to retain?
I think Aldis there's something big there.
I think this is Cody wanting to win the belt for his late father.
See, but then that's like, I agree.
There's so much to
I
it, though.
agree so much.
This is
But
such a hard fucking choice.
But because of that, I believe you'll get the pops, but All In will lose something because we'll inevitably look at it and go, he booked the fucking thing. No shit, he's going to.
Yeah,
book
but okay.
himself
Look,
to win.
I think for the rest of the show, it's up to their discretion. But for the NWA title, I feel that obviously the NWA is going to have a big input in who is going to be our champion.
Yeah, no, I
going
agree.
forward.
I agree.
And because they're back being that governing body of just this sort of do they have a regular show?
I don't actually know, but that's what I'm saying because I've always known the NWA
I think they got
to be
it's
very territorial.
Twitch
passes.
or YouTube or something. They do have a show.
They'd be stupid if they didn't, right?
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. But we pitched this idea a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
And it was just like, look, when it comes down to doing the NWA belt, there's so much potential with Nick Aldis. Let him go out there to all these companies, establish the NWA belt, fight all these guys, and then whoever wins it becomes that NWA belt the highest belt on that brand. Right, like that's what it. That's how it was treated back in the 80s.
Yeah,
right, and that's how it should be treated again now. Obviously, it ain't going to appear on WWE because WWE now considers themselves in its own world as the best ever. Right, but they can't take away what the NWA has there. Right, that is one thing that no company will ever have on WWE is that the NWA has more prestige than WWE World Title.
Yeah, well, that title in various iterations is I think the longest lineage still active title.
Yeah.
going
WWE
around.
has adopted some of it because I'm pretty sure when
The-
Ric
the
Flair
big gold
had
belt.
it, yeah.
The big gold belt went from being NWA to WCW, then to the World Heavyweight Championship belt.
Yeah.
But then around that time, you had TNA, which was
Yeah, then TNA gave, yeah, then
they had a big gold belt for a while before they became the Impact champion,
yeah.
or the TNA champion, and then NWA in recent years has come back as its own.
Yeah, but it's taken
thing.
its lineage back, is what it's done.
Yeah, I know. So it's
still
it's
so powerful.
it is that still that prestigious belt that has that massive lineage. So
Is Cody worthy of that lineage?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%, I agree.
100%.
But-
Yeah, I think Cody wins. I think Cody wins.
I think Aldous retains.
All right.
I've got Cody.
I think that, what comes after, right? Because I think
Well, I mean, like,
I don't see NWA giving up their belt for Cody, who's still very much Ring of Honor in Japan.
You know what I would love?
For that belt to be lesser in comparison to those.
No, man, I think you. Cody,
Or do they take the gamble, give it to Cody, make sure and like gamble the fact that with him with the belt, with him who he is, he'll elevate it higher than the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Imagine this. Wrestle Kingdom next year. You not only have, because every now and then they defend the Ring of Honor belt at Wrestle Kingdom. I think last time to do it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole.
Yep.
So you have at Wrestle Kingdom next year the IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt on the line, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship belt on the line. US belt doesn't have the prestige yet, so. But
NWA should be second last.
well, no, you have the Ring of Honor World Title defended as well,
NWA.
and the NWA World Title defended at Wrestle Kingdom. Cody Rhodes versus.
I pay it. Look, honestly, I am.
Yeah.
Right? I agree
would-
so much.
Flip Gordon. Nick and Flip and
Well, you
Cody.
can-
Hey,
the rest of
hold
the-
on.
Yeah, you
To
can-
what extent are we ruling out the fact that All In might not end with a gimmick finish?
I would love to see the NWA title be the cleanest match on the card.
So would I, right?
You can have other gimmick finishes.
But if they're
For
not
other
looking
matches?
at this as just a one-off, and if there's potential to move storylines from here on out, at what point are we ruling out the fact that there might be a gimmick finish?
They 100% could be a gimmick finish.
Fair.
But I think that they would respect this belt, and I think, like I said, NWA would have their fingers in this, saying, "Look, we have certain expectations when it comes to matches involving this belt. We have certain expectations when it comes to champions and where and when they defend. So obviously, that would have to work into Cody's schedule should he win. But I think the potential to have the NWA title at Wrestle Kingdom, which is the biggest event outside of WrestleMania,
Watch out.
I think is a tantalizing thing for both NWA and New Japan to sort of think about and go, what is our best option here? Even though the boys essentially are booking this show, there is, each of these companies, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and NWA, have clout when it comes to we still have the final say at what happens to these belts that are defended at this show. So I think the potential there to have the NWA title make its way to Japan and be defended at Wrestle Kingdom is massive.
Okay, I agree with it. You know
So-
what? You've swayed me.
So I think Cody gets...
Because I think if I'm...
At the end of the day, they could still just say to Nick Aldis, hey, come to New Japan and defend it.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
it's something you can do. You have a better chance with the Cody name to it to say
Yes.
Cody's our champion.
And he has that. He's established in New Japan.
And he has
he's part
established- yeah.
He's part of Bullet Club. That's a rare thing. Is for someone like Nick Aldis who has no allegiance to
Yeah.
Bullet Club, LIJ, fucking Chaos.
But in
whatever.
the same vein, on the other hand, the exact same thing. If Nick Aldis beats someone like Cody Rhodes in the biggest match on the biggest indie card of the year,
that's huge.
It's
Massive.
huge. You've therefore established another star like
You
that.
have, yeah.
Right.
Nick
Instead of-
Aldis is already a bit. He's a big.
He's great. For
Yeah.
anyone who really knows indie wrestling, you know Nick Aldis is brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. And he's
so,
got a look.
He's so fucking jacked.
Yeah, he's so jacked. He's got
His
a good
head
move
looks
set.
tiny.
Yeah. And he can talk.
He can,
He
yeah.
holds himself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Ric
Well,
Flair-esque.
I don't know if
but-
they did this on 10 Pounds of Gold, or it might have been like a crossover segment, but he had a segment on Being the Elite, basically calling out Cody. So it was before
Cody was calling out Nick Aldis in the Ring of Honor ring.
It was before the Flip Gordon match, because they had whoever the general manager or whatever of NWA there interviewing Nick Aldis, and he's like, in this envelope I have your opponent for your upcoming match, and it was the Flip Gordon match.
Oh, okay, no, I didn't see this.
And so Nick Aldis opens the envelope and he's like, I know exactly who this is going to be.
Also, we're not even thinking, we've completely forgotten about it, but the Ring of Honor is on the line here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you watch 10 Pounds of Gold, they did the gimmick where it was in the ring at Ring of Honor. Nick Aldis came out to promote it. And then it's like, Nick Aldis is like, look, I have so much here to lose. What do I get out of this?
Yeah.
And then he was just like, he was kind of like just pushing away Cody Rhodes, like, I don't want to defend it against you. Cody was just like, you know what? Fine. I'll give you something. Takes off the ring. And it's just like, let's fucking do it.
Oh, that's cool.
Here we go.
So,
All right, so big week in wrestling. Big weekend coming up. All in week.
It's been 70 minutes of pure wrestling, just to let you know. I'm just looking at it now, which is good.
Awesome. Yeah, so I am... Look, I'm excited. I understand your points, David, where it's like it's an interesting...
My points are brilliant.
It's an interesting card. It's not a phenomenal...
I only say that
card.
when it's stacked up against to how publicized they have made All In to be like these huge indie events.
I said this to you off air. It's more about the celebration of indie wrestling.
No,
than
I agree.
actually
I agree.
the card itself.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's nitpicky and probably even wrong in my opinion, but it's still, I can't shake the fact that my initial feeling to this when I'm going to watch it is like, look, I'm just going to be a bit underwhelmed on face value because I know what this is being promoted to be. I know how big it looks, but the card just doesn't look like that to me. And you can't sell a major card with just one or two matches, in my opinion. It's got to be good from start to finish. Right?
Well, I mean, NXT have made a career out of putting on what seem like underwhelming cards on paper and then delivering in spades.
Agreed. Like, look, see, like, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, we ain't watched it yet. Right?
No,
so like,
So basically, next week, Yang may be potentially eating his words.
oh yeah. And look, honestly, if we walk in here next week and it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of everything, I'll gladly walk in, hands behind my back, tail tucked in.
Can you snap that up and please put it up on our Facebook page?
Yeah, I will.
Is it the greatest thing in the history of everything?
If, right? If. And I'll gladly... Look, I know when I'm wrong.
That's fine.
I know when I'm wrong.
That's fine. No,
All right?
look,
but I damn well know when I'm right. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Well,
This current WWE Championship reign is trash.
enjoy All In. Hopefully, all you out there are watching it. Hope you enjoyed all the wrestling this week. Kevin Owens, we miss you. We love you. Come back soon.
Fight, Steen, fight.
Wherever.
Whoever's listening to this at Kevin Owens on the feed so we can see this. Kevin, we would love you on the show, bro.
Yeah, man.
I love you on the
Just
show,
come
bro.
just come.
We want an exclusive
Right.
with you.
You can be
Right.
you can be Kevin Owens. You can be Kevin Steen. You can be whoever you want.
Be whatever you want, bro.
It's all right.
We can call this the
There's no
Kevin,
gimmick infringement here, man.
We'll call this
Right?
the Kevin. We'll call this the Kevin Steen show
This is
for
the
1
Kevin
week.
Steen- yeah, it's Kevin Steen show. So
Kevin
anyway,
Steen,
check us out on all. Subscribe to the podcast, please. Subscribe to the podcast. Helps out helps us out a massive amount. So go to Gesundheit.
Sneeze.
Go to iTunes, Australiamania, subscribe, rate, review, all that
Can
sort
we
of good
actually
stuff.
get on Spotify now?
No.
Okay.
Not just yet. I think we need bigger numbers, and there's a whole massive
enough.
bullshit process to go on Spotify.
Soon, guys.
Soon we'll be on Spotify.
I think the other one we got to do is Google Play.
Yeah.
Get on the Play Store.
Yeah.
We can talk business. At the
Anyway,
end.
so go to iTunes, subscribe there, and whatever Android app you use, you can just do it there as well. I'm getting to that.
STRAYAMANIA for all that.
I'm getting to that. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Australiamania Pod, You see, you fucked me up now. STRAYAMANIA POD. That's Australiamania Pod.
Just think of the old band POD and
Twitter,
you'll find us.
Instagram, and YouTube and Facebook is Australiamania Podcast. You can follow me at all my socials at Ricky Needs at RICKINEEDS. Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTubes, David.
Just at me.
Just at you?
Just at me.
At which one's your Twitter? That's King Yang 8, isn't
Dude,
it?
honestly, I don't know. I need to start like consolidating
Using
everything.
your fucking Twitter?
Fuck, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I don't have like a really fun personal life that I need to start talking more about publicly.
Use your fucking social medias.
Fuck you. Fuck both of you.
At Time Media for me on Twitter.
Especially you, Ricky.
Yeah, I know.